Ooh,
Yeah, are you ready?
I'm ready, Sammy. Let's rock and roll.
Rock and roll. Okay, thank you so much, Donovan. Once again on our weekly podcast or weekly show, I would call it, to joining me. And you are stuck somewhere, as you told me. Where are you stuck? Could you please tell the audience?
Oh,
And
I'm
what
just
is
in the
behind the scene?
ju- just in the middle of nowhere. I'm just kind of relaxing,
Mm-hmm,
sitting up. My vehicle broke down, so I'm just relaxing, taking her
so,
easy in the middle of nowhere, Alberta.
mm-hmm. How
Just
how far are you from your home?
it's like about an hour and a half. Just,
Oh, what happened? I think I
oh, I don't
lost you.
know.
Oh, I don't know. I muted. Okay, yeah, please continue.
It's about an hour and a half out, so just relaxing. I mean, just hold up, laying down. Got a bit of a headache, but you just got to power through. Sammy,
Mm-hmm.
what are you wearing?
Yeah, I'm wearing Saskatchewan Rough Rider. I'm
That's
biggest fan. I'm not biggest fan, but I'm only fan of riders. Wherever I will live, I live in Saskatchewan or in Ontario or any other parts of the nation.
it's a good.
Proud Rough Rider.
They're not doing well, Sammy. They've been
Yeah,
losing.
I don't know, like they always have a bad luck. Sometimes they will play well, but suddenly I don't know what happened to them.
They were 5-0 at the start of the season, and now they've lost so many. They're not.
Mhm.
They're out. They're kind of in third. I think Winnipeg's up there. Like all the bad teams are playing well. Good teams outside of Quebec are playing bad. It's pretty exciting in the CFL right now.
Mhm. So do you recall when was the last time Rough Riders won?
Ah, I think we were against Edmonton.
Edmonton?
So it was about like 8 weeks ago. So it's been a while.
No, like cup, title, like
Oh, the
the CFL
Grey Cup.
Grey
Oh,
Cup.
yes. I all I remember is the having the extra man on
Mm-hmm.
the game winning, just a disaster of the. It's been a bit. It's been a little bit of time.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I'm dreaming they should win. Last time when it was 20. It is 2024. If was it in Regina Grey Cup final in 2023, 2022?
Yeah, well, it's been they're not they're a team that does not win a lot. I think it's been a little bit. Um, it's just sad. It's sad time in Saskatchewan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, so in hockey, what we call it, NFL. So no, yeah, that is NFL. But there are limited number of team across the nation. Like there is no team from Saskatchewan particularly, and not anyone from Atlanta, Canada,
For which?
for NFL
For
nation.
hockey?
For, yeah, NHL. I mean, yeah, National Hockey.
NHL, yes, 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 that is correct. They've got the big cities and then it drops right off. Saskatoon almost got a hockey team. Did you know that, Sammy?
Yeah, I think that is called Saskatoon. But I know they have a hockey team because once I think they won their I don't know what was the tournament, but they won it.
Well,
Now I
they almost got an NHL team
Oh,
back in like
NHL.
the back in the 80s or 70s,
Oh,
80s. Not because you can't
oh,
have thousand. That would be
oh,
embarrassing. So then the NHL saved the St. Louis Blues.
people of
Yeah.
Saskatchewan.
They
Yeah,
they should have filed a human rights, but they didn't.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
unreal. Saskatoon Blues. Almost, Sammy. It almost happened.
Mhm. Okay, and are you making it tomorrow night?
I will. So I have a jazz band rehearsal So I will
Mhm,
not be there right when the polls close, but I will join in briefly, probably about midnight your time. So about
mhm,
10 p.m. Mountain.
mhm.
I will
And
join in very briefly, and then I'll try to stay up as long as I can, but I'm not making any promises, Sammy.
mhm. Yeah, I do understand. You have a tough, like you have your own schedule, like. But I appreciate it despite that being very busy, and you have just these weekends you are free, but still you show up, and today you are stuck somewhere in a hotel. But still you made it.
Got a headache, but I will survive.
Made it,
I'll power through it as best as I can, Sammy.
Mhm. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah. Okay. Is there anyone in the chat? And okay, let's talk about tomorrow. Like, will be two by-election. One is in Montreal, which will be uh every eyes will be there because it is a safe seat of liberals. Since 2015 they hold it, and but there are expectation that liberals could lose it. According to, there was a poll released, I believe, yesterday by Main Street Research. They suggest, if the poll suggested, if an election were held today, Bloc Québécois would win it. It would be followed by Liberal. So it means the Bloc is a great chance to win it, but there are also prediction NDP could perform well in Montreal. But there is it mean, I would say it is a coincident that Bullock and NDP's both candidate surnames are same. So it would be interesting to watch.
That's the yeah, no, I think yeah, and no matter what, it's not good for the liberals, like regardless of whatever comes out of it. It's not an optimal situation.
Mhm,
I've seen lots of polls that have the NDP pulling off a squeaky win, Bloc getting a squeaky win. Having the two same names, Sauvé, is very intriguing.
mhm,
It'll be neat to see because I think if the NDP win both by elections, do you think that that gives Jagmeet Singh the ability and the thought that maybe they can win it all and then try to call an election right away? Which would be an interesting thing to see. Thinking that he has the momentum. But yeah, we'll see. It'll be cool if the Bloc or NDP beat each other by like 100 votes to win it. How many of those were accidental votes? Like that'll be
mhm.
uh certainly intriguing. What's the Bloc's first name?
Bullock candidate,
Yeah,
like I'm just googling Bullock
because yeah, the
candidate
NDP
Montreal.
NDP's Craig Sauvé, I think.
Yeah, liberal by election. Let's see.
Because yeah, I think if it's Craig Sauvé and then if the Block is a different name that's farther down the alphabet. I don't have a laptop, so I
Yeah,
can't really.
I found it. It is Louis Flip Sawe. Sawe, the
Okay.
last name is. Yeah, it is a
Because
French name.
so that means yeah, so that means his name will be below Craig, right? Is that going to play a difference on the gigantic ballot?
And ballot.
If you have Craig Sauvé and then the person's going to be underneath that, will people pick the first Sauvé? Who knows?
It will be tricky to watch. I don't
It's
know like
always
how
fun.
they would do it. Hmm?
It's always fun what'll
Yeah.
happen.
Mm-hmm. And like the longest ballot yesterday shared a post with respect to election Canada poll worker was mocking longest ballot. The he or I don't know, like he or she suggested that senior citizens are struggling to find the name, but I don't know like how the hell these uh, an election Canada worker can mock like those candidates. I don't think it could be code of conduct, violation of code of conduct, I believe.
Yeah, I guess if you're gonna sit down and trash the electoral process, it could be no good. I do think, as said, like my parents are in their 70s and they still use a phone book, and that has way more than 90 names, and they can find everybody in it. So
Okay. Yep.
are you
Yeah,
alive?
it means they can like means yeah, you are saying like I don't know like what happened.
You're moving, Sammy. I hear you now.
Now you can hear me. Okay. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Like as you said, like your parents are in 70s, but still they are using phone book, like they can find. But it should not be a problem, like if you want to vote someone, you will find it. Otherwise, you don't need to.
It's true. That's yeah, I think there's a lot of people overblowing the what it's if there's any confusion, which is fair. I think people will sit down and try to find any excuse to trash the long ballot, but I said I believe it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. It's a
Yeah.
big tree that grows, and as this
Mhm.
tree grows, happiness grows with it.
Mhm. Yeah, and Trudeau would have a great like chance like tomorrow when he will lose, he will mock you guys.
I hope so. But he actually, the liberals have been pretty okay about the whole thing. They're
Mhm.
saying that like any Canadian can run. We're not going to change anything. And you're like, okay. So they're not. They seem to be pretty, like ambivalent. Like they seem to sort of look at it without any anger. They seem to
Mhm.
be dealing with it pretty okay. And then the block leader, Yves Francois Blanchet, thinks that we're all just going to be in our basements, slapping our thighs, which I think is silly.
You are, I don't know. Like, mhm. So, no, like, did was Bullock criticizing longest ballot yesterday?
Well, Yves Francois Blanchet said that that there's a bunch of people in their basement slapping their thighs, laughing. That's sort of, but
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty much the most of it. But I think it's also quite funny because I don't have a basement, so I wish I had a basement, but I don't.
Mm-hmm.
No basement.
Oh, wow. So, I don't know. I'm doing something. Okay. Yep. And is Adam? I think Adam is not here today.
That's okay. Adam's busy man. Everybody's busy. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Life is good.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But yes, as it goes though, for my prediction, I do think the NDP will pull off a small win tomorrow in LaSalle and Mart Verdun. I think followed second place by me. I will get second, and then third will be Block.
So I was just Mhm. So I was just thinking like 11,000 people already casted their votes in the
Advanced.
uh advanced polls. Yeah. So it means you should have like at least 1,000 votes.
I think
Like
so.
and I 1 out of 100, at least 1 out of 100 could vote for you. You are a famous man.
I think so. I've been
Don't
on
you
the
think?
radio waves out there, so they know me. I think I've got a chance,
Yeah.
Sammy.
Hmm. Yeah, you have a great chance, like you could make an impact. And with respect to, yeah, it could be, and it would be interesting to watch, like how long will it take for the election Canada to announce the results, and how far it will go. And we will be live tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern time, and 7 p.m. Mountains time, and also two great Canadian pollsters, Eric Garnier and Professor Flip. They will also be live on the same time, but they will start at 9:30, and I think they committed. They may stay awake until the final results, maybe until the morning. So it could be, it would be interesting. Where would people watch it? And though like they are very famous, though they will go in. I think it is called Rate. The Rate, I think their podcast is on YouTube, and also we will be live on Sami Parvez show, and maybe other mainstream media and independent media would be covering that too. So it would be very, very, very interesting to watch and to see where people will take the results.
I think the results will come in quicker than the last one. I think from what I've been reading with Elections Canada, they've been doing stress tests. They've been sort of doing simulations. They're counting the advance polls
Yes.
early.
Hmm.
So I think that we should be probably getting the results quicker, I would imagine, but it'll probably still be late. Like I imagine it might be probably around, I'm gonna guess 2:30 a.m. your time. They
Hmm.
will have the results finalized.
Okay, let's see if they can make it.
I think 2:30 a.m. They will have the winner.
And you think NDP would, like NDP or Bloc, either of them would take it, and there is no chance for the Liberals, right?
I don't think so. I think the liberals are done. And I think it will be either I think it's gonna be NDP because also the first name advantage of Craig will help.
Yeah, it would play a great role, like who would take it. And yesterday I was reading a Globe and Mail report where Trudeau, like after NIMO BC caucus retreat, Trudeau affirmed that he is staying until next election. He is not going anywhere because he sacrificed his marriage to be the prime minister and the leader of Liberal Party. So do you think
There's
tomorrow by-election results would make any impact?
well, he's saying it's not. There's something like admirably stupid about what he's doing, and I'm impressed by. Like
Mhm.
if he's gonna sit down and just, I don't care if this party goes in with single digit support, I'm
Mhm.
staying aboard until this ship sinks. And I
Mhm.
think that is wonderful. I think he'll stay. Like as much as like I think it's gonna have to have the liberals drop to like below NDP for him to step down. Uh
Mhm.
which is nuts. But I think that would be the only way he says no. Like at that point, you'd have to definitely go. But if they get like a close second, they're going to be like, you know what? We're on the right
Mhm.
track. And they're going to be just delusional. It's crazy. I love it. It said it's
Mhm.
admirably stupid what Trudeau's saying. I'm impressed.
Yeah, but it would be crazy, like when you are thinking why you are still be the voyager of that ship
It
or captain of it.
I will say that like if he stays on, like they're going to just plummet further and further. There's going to be something incredible.
Mhm.
Like there's only one way but up, right? Like if they just completely tank and it all falls apart,
Mhm.
then there's only one way to go but up when they get a new person in. So I think that's not necessarily the worst, but boy, just staying on is insane.
Yeah, but there are also some speculation on that report, cited some senior staff members, some former and current ministers. There could be like bunch of MPs are not going to run again if Trudeau stay on. So it means that this could be another uh, devastating scenario for Justin Trudeau. If he put his ego above of his party, so it means he could lose many hardworking like MPs and ministers, you know. So this could be not just for Trudeau, but Liberal Party. It means we will come back to what happened back in 2006. So when uh, what was that prime minister name who lost to Stephen Harper?
Martin?
Paul Martin. Yeah, Paul Martin. You know, like then it took 9 years to for liberals to build up. So I don't think now it would. They need to. They need another leader like it mean it was a miracle for Justin Trudeau. I think, but back in 2015, so there were some advantages for Trudeau. One, immigration at the time, like you know, like this niqab ban, anti-Muslims, these thoughts, you know, like were ongoing at the time, and Trudeau was using these strategies, but now people are sick with identity politics. So now you cannot use these strategies until in the upcoming time. So I think it would take too long to rebuild a Liberal Party after next election, the brutal loss.
Well, that seems to be the way it always goes, though, in Canadian politics, because you have to look at Brian Mulroney in the
Hmm.
1990 election
Yeah.
when he got complete, or like the early 90s one where the Conservatives were decimated down to 2 seats. And it goes in cycles. We're a cyclical thing where it seems like every 10 to 15 years a party gets decimated and then it rebuilds again. It's just sort of a cycle, Sammy. It's a
Hmm.
cycle. And we go, and now the Liberals are past their best before date. They will
Hmm.
disappear for a couple of terms, and then the Conservatives will exist for 3 terms, and then they'll go away, and the cycle continues.
Yeah. The life goes on. The show
Life
must go
is
on.
sun. Yes, life finds a way, Sammy. Life
Mhm.
finds a way.
Yeah. But I don't know, like this could be bad for liberals, but it would be good for Canadians and anti-liberals or anti-Trudeau, I would say. But maybe I don't know, like why it seems so. See, when there is something goes wrong in conservative, so the party get divided. But it is unlike in the liberals, all will remain in the same caucus, despite they have too many differences.
Yeah,
Wait,
I
Adam
think
is
it.
on the chat. Sorry
I
to
think.
interrupt.
Oh, go. Sorry, go.
I said Adam is on the chat. Adam said, good afternoon, gents in the house, Sami. Are you for against CFL ties? How about election ties? What happens if the longest ballot candidates all tie for the past?
I like that. What happens, Sammy?
Yeah,
Show. You need to show Adam your shirt.
Adam, Adam, can you see my shirt?
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It is my, this I purchased in Saskatchewan. Since then I have it. But when I went here in stores like in Walmart, I could not find a shirt like this. I wanted to buy another shirt, so it is not available here.
That's how they get you. That's how they get you. That's. I wonder, Sammy. So you think that what happens if we all tie? All the long ballot people tie. That's
Then
interesting.
it will be great, like then you need to like toss up, like do a toss,
I
like
think. I think.
well,
I. I actually think if it's a tie, I think it's just by random chance. I think it's just like your name is drawn from a hat. I
mhm.
think that's what happens.
Yeah, yeah, it would be interesting, but yeah, I wish someone should take a great lead in the from the longest ballot.
We'll see. Anything can happen tomorrow.
Okay, wow, Sami, that's lucky shot. Still Eva lows to go against the Elks. Yeah, it is terrible. I don't know, like why Rough Riders are not performing well, as we were discussing earlier. So it seems like they win some games, then they again go start losing. Like even though in the last time when the Grey Cup final was in Saskatchewan in Regina, but still they lost it. So it is very bad for the fans of riders. So do you get a vote on the hate used? Do you get to vote on the hate used? What does that mean? Anyone, are you reading what our friend Emmett Adam?
No, I'm not. I'm not reading it because I'm on my phone, so I don't have access to the chat.
Okay, Adam is saying, okay, let me read it for you. Do you get to the vote on the eight used?
Well, I don't know.
Adam, I'm sorry, like I'm not understanding the question actually. If you could please rewrite it.
Thanks, Adam. We appreciate you.
Yeah, we appreciate you are the only one who always joins us and watch and give comment.
Comments. It's a beautiful thing. That's how we start, though. It's a seed, and he is our mighty sapling,
Mhm.
and soon we will grow into a tree.
Yeah, and I just also want to bring up like I send emails, like to lots of people. I called John Christian, his assistant. He said that Mr. Christian won't appear on Zoom, especially for YouTube. Yeah, I said, oh, why should I mention YouTube? Like then the Campbell, the other prime minister was in back in 1996 after Brian Mulroney in 1993, I believe. Is her assistants also replied she's not here. I don't think she would be interested. And then I wrote to Tom Mulcair. His assistants also wrote back that Mr. Mulcair won't be available because he is too busy, like he has lots of things to do. He appears here and there. So that is not possible. And my local MPP, what is her name? Aislinn Clancy. Oh, our office said she is not available. So I sent an email to her. So she said right back to the office. She gave me another email address. I forwarded to them. They said, oh, she is not available until next year. You need to contact back next year. I said, I'm not going to contacting you back on next year. I don't need it. I was expecting that I would receive an email like this, but as you told me, to do it, I'd say I will give a try. So another MP, Mike Morris. Mike Morris is MP from like Kitchener Center where I'm living. Is MP of this riding. So his office did not reply, and he's not going to reply because I don't have good connection with them, because I always criticize them, and I spoke with him 2 3 times. He's a nice gentleman, but he with respect to his constituents, he just scares some people. He's mostly focused on green agenda. Then other like whatever depends on their party, like they don't speak for us. They don't work, like they don't have power, I would say. I told them. That's why I told them I'm not going to vote for you. I will decline my ballot because an MP does not have any power, like with respect to my issues when I was struggling it's still like EI employment insurance. So I lost this one. Is there was a case I need to submit it. It would be hard, and I also did not have that carbon tax rebate. I was struggling with that. They took too much, but it was resolved because I wrote an email to I don't know who is CRA minister. I wrote to minister website, so they contacted me back like 2 3 times. CRA contacted me back with respect to I received them, but it took too long. And with my MPP does not have any power. I wrote to MPP with respect to my case, which I already explained. Simplify a solution. Still, I received a letter from Ministry of Labor. They said they don't have any power to get my pay or money what Simplify solution owes to me, and there are many people they owe to them too, because they were fired or they quit and they did not pay them, and they don't have any power. So I need to ask you, Doug Ford, why the hell we have Ministry of Labor when you don't have any power? You are not working for the labor, you are working for the uh, employers, or these businessmen, or these corporates. So you should stop wasting our money to this so-called Ministry of Labor. Fire all of those Ministry of Labor, or I would say abandon this Ministry of Labor department to save taxpayers' money, spend it somewhere else. And you also should. I forgot this Minister of Labor name. I sent an email many times. So they are not doing enough. I hope they don't watch this podcast, but somebody must tell them what they are doing. I
No,
also
good.
sent a request to Doug Ford, and this I don't know his name is Danas, not Danas, but someone else. So I told them request for a meeting, request for a chat, but they never they did not respond. Yeah.
Damn ministry. Stupid. That's awful, Sammy. That's insane that you have a Ministry of Labor that doesn't care about the people.
Hmm.
Doug Ford only likes his businessmen.
Hmm. Yeah, he's a businessman guy, and he loves doing a business. None, none other. So let's.
Damn shame.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. Like Adam, I know you are watching, but let's see if you send some question to us. Okay. Let's see. Sorry, Adam, we are not following you. Okay, I think Regina hosted the Grey Cup just a couple of years ago. Yeah, that was I'm talking about. No, yeah. Ryder last won Grey Cup in 2013. Thank you so much. I asked Donovan about this. He
Yes.
didn't know it. Donovan says that the names all go into a eight. Who picks out the eight? Donovan, are you there, my friend?
Us, I think it goes to the electoral officer. I think the chief electoral officer does it and then decides. I know that's how, like, my mom tied when she won for county council. She
Mm-hmm.
tied, and it was a coin flip, and
Wow.
she gets right. So I think it's just the chief electoral officer will pull the name of the
Mm-hmm.
hat.
Yeah, this is interesting. And yeah, and let me read some more. Okay. Jane Christian Ater, but Sami, love the grand you are rocking it. Thank you so much, Adam. It means a lot to me. I wondered that what they are hiding when they refuse to appear on the Sami Parvez show. Yes, this is a $1 million question, my friend. Actually, like I can respond with respect to that because my show is very brand new and I don't have any much audience. I have little like 323. As I always say this thing, it is a better truth, like these elected officials or these politicians or big tycoons, like I would call them, they always are willing to appear on mainstream media, and especially with those who have great connection, like we also have some other independent media, but they have close ties with some political parties. They can appear, like I wrote to multiple MPs, especially with respect to conservative party. They declined. They cited they have a tough schedule. I don't think that could be the cause. And some MPs, it means they don't want to appear, like I'm brand new and they don't know me and I don't have any connection. So I never, like, and I always criticize them. I always send them, like when the Perez was appearing back in for MPs Perez on April 1st, I wrote to all these MPs, especially conservative caucus, why you are not speaking out? Yeah, I know, like this is the thing, Adam. What should I say? You are especially right. They're not busy. They just don't want to appear, like a person like me. I don't know, like it's great. And I also just want to mention, I think Brian Pesiform. I hope I name it correctly. He also showed interest to appearing on the Sami Parvez show. I don't know when, but hopefully he will appear. I told him until Wednesday or maybe whenever it is possible to him. So people like him, like it is a great honor for me, and like Donovan Eckstrom and Adam, yourself, like you always appreciate. And yesterday I had a conversation with Mocha Bezergan from Calgary. So it was a great discussion about what's happening and why he focused on independent media. So that was also a great discussion. Like people like you guys, it could motivate me to do more. And this is, by the way, this is our fourth live stream. It was just a blink open eye.
Yeah, well, that's as I mentioned, most podcasts or any sort of live thing typically only makes it 2 episodes. There's not too many that hit four, Sammy. We've got a
Mhm.
month's worth of content. It's tremendous.
Yes,
It's incredible what you're making here. You're an artiste, Sammy.
thank
You're
you
the
so much.
Leonardo da
Great
Vinci,
people.
and me, I am your muse.
Thank you so. And I appreciate it. It is all just because of support people like you, like despite your like tough schedule, but you still take time and do it. And and I'm trying to keep going, like until I'm alive. I'm not going to leave this show. If I would get another job, I will make sure to tell my manager that I will do this thing, and hopefully you don't say anything if it could be related to journalism. Otherwise, I'm not going to say anything, but we will keep going, like maybe we will change the timing, but we will continue our weekly live show.
But of course, Sammy, but of course.
Mm. Yeah, Adam, are you willing to join us tomorrow? Okay, did you reach to Peter Mansbridge? I just want to tell you, earlier, like when I started this podcast, I reached to him. He did not respond, but I want to reach him again. I will try to write an email. That day I wrote to too many folks, so I could not write to him because I already. But I'm going to try to do it. And thank you so much, Adam, for watching our yesterday's podcast. Appreciate it, sir. People like you, it means a lot to me. And I would appreciate if you take some. Okay, thank you. If you can make it, so that would be great. It would be an honor. And I would appreciate if you can take some responsibilities and try to do uh, uh, what should I say? Make a strategy to share it with your some family friends members and ask them they need to share it with others to make it, like that strategy. You tell like 5 people, they will tell 5 people, so it will keep going. So I will reach
Like a
1,000 subscribers, like make it that strategy. It could be a great
like a
work. And
pyramid. We'll
yes,
build it up like a pyramid, right,
yes, yes,
Sammy?
yes. Yeah, yeah. If you do it
Perfect.
right that way.
Like in a pyramid.
Mhm.
Pyramid strategy. I think that that'll work out really well.
Yes. I told my lots of friends and family members. Some took some interest, but most of them don't
You
because
never know until you join the pyramid plan. That's all it takes.
yes.
Everybody joins in. You might, all these people are missing out.
Hmm. Yes. And mm, I'm just trying to sharing this one on on my social media platforms to get maybe somebody else.
Oh, that's all good, Sammy. I think, what do you think's going to happen this week in Canadian politics? The House will be back in session.
Yes.
How long do you think they're going to do it, Sammy? Do you think they're going to call an early election in fall?
I think Block will not let it happen. Like he already shared that he is going to work with liberal government, but it could be. But I believe tomorrow's by-election would decide everything. Let's say uh, Block win Montreal, NDP would win Winnipeg. It means they know like where they stand. And liberals would come fourth in Montreal or third. Like then it could be a close call because like then Bullock knows they have great support from Quebecers. So I don't think they will spend their times and energy with liberal government. They will go on a fourth poll. And then NDP would also know. Because today I was reading, I did not read it fully, Professor Philip analysis. He also mentioned that if the projection showing the NDP is in, like it is in breaking point. It means the numbers for them, they are devastating. So I think now NDP should realize this it is not good for them to continue to support liberal government because liberal is already uh, done in the polls. You can see they are trailing like 50, no, 15 to 20 points. Maybe sometime like recently they said over 20 points. So it means they should not. But I don't know like why Jagmeet Singh is still continuing to support it. And if it is not about the Jagmeet Singh's pension, so he should vote on no confidence vote and dissolve this parliament. What happened back in 2011 when Bloc, NDP, Liberals put out a motion, no confidence motion, and they defeated Arpar's government. But Arpar came back in majority, so it was his luck, like at the time. But this won't happen at this time for the Yeah, it means it is again going to happen for liberal and for conservatives. What happened back in 2011, and it will happen now. But Bullock and NDP should support conservative motion, and but Pierre Pouliot would put forward a motion. I think this week or next week, whenever he has the opportunity. It would be interesting to watch.
Yeah, I think you're right that whatever the results of the election will come out will
Mhm,
determine, right? If the bloc can get more seats, they
mhm,
might go for it. Though it is nice to have the liberals sort of deciding what you want to
mhm,
extend it a little longer. But I think I see the NDP voting against the government from here on in.
mhm,
Even if the bloc have support, then
mhm,
it sort of shows we're never a fan of these guys. It's these dirty separatists that are keeping things afloat,
mhm,
which is what they can say. But I don't know. I think, yeah, if the NDP win both, the NDP might sit down and say, we're strong. We will try to get an election going.
mhm.
Um, Block win, NDP win. Yeah, it'll be neat to see. We'll see. The first confidence motion will be certainly fascinating.
Mm. There is an interesting question. Okay, so Adam said I'm on my pyramid. Thank you, Adam. And Adam said, Sami and Donovan, if you could vote for one Canadian politician ever, living or dead, who would it be?
Oh, I'd probably go old Lester B. Pearson. I love old Lester. Lester B. Pearson. The partially because was a part of my fraternity,
Mhm,
Delta Upsilon, but also uh dude was did a lot for a lot of Canadian identity is sort of from his time as prime minister in the 60s and sort of establishing that version of Canadiana that we all love, of being sort of a worldwide force of good. I like old Lester B. Pearson is pretty awesome.
mhm. So
Who
I
would
think I must go with John A. MacDonald. Sir John A. MacDonald, I think many people would mock me with that, but he was the founder of Confederation, like he built Canada. If he was not here, maybe we would not be in this form.
yeah,
So
dude.
if I vote for him, I would choose Brian Mulroney. I'm sorry, Mr. Brian Mulroney. But I know like he introduced some taxes, like PST, and there was another tax he introduced. I wish we would not have those taxes. Where do we stand?
I think first off, I think John A. McDonald's a great choice because nothing's more Canadian than showing up to work kind of drunk still after a night of partying,
Mhm.
which is what John A. McDonald did quite a bit, being quite intoxicated in the House of Commons, which I think
Oh,
that is the most Canadian thing. Did you know that he threw up in the House of Commons because he was
no,
really hungover? Did you know that,
no,
Sammy?
no, I don't know. I did
So
not
yeah,
know.
he was so hungover, he threw up, and then very quickly, because he was pretty clever, said,
Mhm.
"My opponent's arguments were so bad that they made me sick to my stomach."
Oh.
But yeah, no, I said John A. McDonald's an excellent choice. I wouldn't mock you for that.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, Brian Mulroney did sort of set up a bunch of things that are still affecting us today, including the wonderful GST,
Mhm.
which is irritating.
Mhm.
Um, but no, I think your choice of John A. McDonald is a well earned one there, Sammy.
Okay. Yeah, Lester B. Peterson, I also heard, but I did not read too much about him. I read some of his quotes, but now I forgot back in 2015 or 2014.
Yeah, it was Lester B. Pearson and versus Diefenbaker. They kind of went back and forth. they would like there was a period about where Canada had a federal election like 4 times within like 6 years because they
Wow.
just kept being minority governments. So the conservatives would have it and then they'd lose it and then back and forth and back and forth and back and forth before Lester B. Pearson finally got a majority and then back and forth and back and forth and then Pierre Trudeau came in. So no, I like Lester B. Pearson. He is a lot of the things that we can thank for what Canada is directly because of him.
But did Pierre Trudeau destroyed Canada?
What, Pierre?
Yeah,
Pierre
yeah,
Trudeau? What?
yeah. Trudeau's father, Senior Trudeau.
That he destroyed Canada?
Yeah, like people say like this, like when you read in the Twitter, like they keep mocking Trudeau's father. They said like father, like son.
Ah, I don't really take a lot of credence on Twitter. Some people think that I'm a Russian plant, so I'm not going to really take to what the Twitter mobs have to say. I don't think Trudeau just obviously he didn't destroy Canada. We're still a country. I think that's a weird thing to like. I would say if if Canada stopped being a country, then yeah, you could say that he destroyed it, but Canada's still functioning. I think some of his decisions were kind of stupid when he nationalized certain things, but that we the provinces stood by it. Canada's still around. Um, so I don't know. I don't agree with that assertion that he destroyed Canada. I think when Justin Trudeau leaves, Canada is still going to be a country, and then Canada will continue to exist. I'm not too worried about
Yeah.
people destroying the country.
Mhm. Yeah, so Adam is saying who could pull off a booty better, McDonald or Pearson?
Who could what?
Pull off a booty bow. I don't know, like bow tie better, I think it would be.
I think probably McDonald, if I was to say it. I think McDonald could do that.
Mhm.
Uh, I think I as much as like the bow, as much as Pearson rocked it, I think that you got to go with the OG, the original
Mhm.
gangster, John A.
Yeah, but like the constitution is made like we cannot leave out this monarch, what this monarch system, this king and queen system. How do you
Well,
pronounce?
we can. It would just be very difficult.
It is extremely difficult. Like 10 provinces should say yes. The parliament say
Yeah,
yes. Then we are going to leave it. Otherwise, we can't.
yeah. It is possible. It's actually Canada is it's the hardest, I think, in any country, any Commonwealth nation at least to leave. It's wild how much it would take to leave the monarchy. So we're stuck pretty much like it's actually tougher for Canada to leave the monarchy than the United Kingdom, which is crazy to think
Mhm.
about. Like the
Yeah.
UK could leave it far
Yeah, yeah. So
easier.
really? So why they made it? Yeah, that's why I don't know like why they signed such an agreement, like back in 1982. That's why that day you asked me a question, would you sign the constitution or what is called Charter of Rights back in 1982? Or would you be part of like confederation, like I have chosen confederation. That's why at that time we supposed to have such some like constitutions or act, like we should not come at this position, like what happened in back in 1982 or 84. 82.
Yeah. 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 I guess. I think we should just write a bunch of I don't know. I don't know what to do now. We're stuck in this weird little situation
Yeah,
because it's like,
Mhm.
but go ahead.
I said, like, then we are stuck with this so-called Senate, like it does not make any sense. And yesterday I was reading this gentleman, the youngest candidate in this Montreal by-election. I always forget his name. So he said this is a this is a disaster. He did not use disaster, but he used it is a mess. He called it. So it means we need some changes in the recent announcement by Justin Trudeau. Yeah, I'm talking about Timothy Chuan. Yeah, he is also a candidate from Vancouver for this LaSalle Emard Verdun by-election for longest ballot. So he wrote a beautiful piece. So it means this should be there should be some changes with this one. Get them elected or dissolve this Senate system. Like it does not function very well. It always works with the best interest of the prime minister or the current government.
That's kind of like the United States with the Supreme Court, where and if you get it, well, it's like I think almost all of Alberta senators were appointed by Justin Trudeau. So
Mhm,
they're going to have a bit of a more left-leaning bias, which is never good.
mhm.
Yeah, the Senate should be elected. I think that would be fun. More elections, Sammy. That's what I stand for. If we can have more elections,
Yeah.
oh, then I could run for Senate, which I actually in Alberta, we do have Senate elections, though nobody cares about them
Yes. It
because it's all.
happened back in, I think, when Trudeau appointed his own choices. I think Jason Kenney was at that time premier. He said that we supposed to do our own election, but Trudeau appointed his own favorite people.
Yeah, it's all just suggested. It's nothing is legal, but we do it in Alberta. There's one guy
Mhm.
that ran named Jet Thunders who I wish won, but he still got like 15,000 votes. But he was
Oh.
running a totally radical campaign.
Mhm. Okay, so one independent candidate appeared on CBC, Mark Motor.
Nice.
Is he from longest ballot candidate?
Who? Mark?
Mark Motor, Moutter.
I don't know. Maybe if you have a 1 in 72%, like you've got a pretty high opportunity.
Mhm.
It's 72 out of 91 chance of getting it right. So 77 or however many long ballot people there are. So if it's an independent and you say it's part of the long ballot committee, you're more than likely correct.
Yep. Okay, and where did you voted when there was a poll from longest ballot committee? Do you voted for 1500 plus or 1000 between 1500? They would get like longest ballot candidates would get like 79 candidates.
I think I said between the thousand. I don't or I think it'll be the between the 1,000 and 1,500, sort of similar to the last result.
Okay. And okay, so I need to come this question from Adam. Adam asked, I would like to see the CBC or NFB make a Pearson movie as they have done with Johnny McDonald and Pierre Trudeau.
I agree. I think that there needs to be honestly, if I'm gonna have my taxpayer dollars going to media, I
Mhm.
want to have all of the prime ministers having a movie, and I would love that. I think that we need to have more biopics on our politicians. I think that we need to have one on uh all of them, even the bad ones. Bennett, we should have one on um all of the everybody, even provincial. We need ones for I want to know a little bit about who the premier was of Saskatchewan in 1921. And I think that a biopic for that would be sensational.
1920 Saskatchewan.
I also want to see a biopic about you, Sammy. I think that CBC should make a movie about you.
Oh, I'm not worthy. So,
I could play you, Sammy.
wow, that would be
I
nice.
could Donovan Eckstrom is Sami Parvez in the Sami Parvez story.
Mhm. So that was William Martin between 1916 1922.
See, I want to know about that dude's story. I want to see him growing up and him in the house and in his legislature bellowing. I think that there's something powerful about that.
Yeah, he was a teacher at Ontario. In 1903, moved to Regina and joined the law firm.
See? Like that would be a fun movie. And then you could play him, Sammy, and I could play you playing him in the
Mhm.
Sami Parvez story,
Maybe you
starring
need to
Donovan
prove it.
Eckstrom as Sami Parvez.
You can make it. What would you do with my accent?
Oh, I think I'd play it. I don't know. That could be very intense. I would try to spend some time. I'd either really commit to it or just not have an accent.
Mhm.
Uh, well, I'd have to practice it, Sammy. And
Mhm.
then I'd of course run it by you to
Yeah.
make sure that it's good quality.
Okay, let's come back to our comments. Our friend Adam Smith. Okay, Constitution because of Trudeau despite being a slim bag. And he also asked, what do you think of Margaret Trudeau's street corner waiver and a Robert Stanfield movie?
We need them all. We need them all.
Okay, thank you.
All movies.
Mhm.
Everyone.
So we also have a new party, the Forward Party of Canada. I don't know, like why we have too many these French parties. Do we need them?
Oh, I think so. I love fringe parties. I want more. Sammy, I want to have 100 fringe parties. I want as many fringe parties as possible. I think it's great. I think it's fun. I think it gives people an opportunity to not vote for the main ones. As
Mhm.
much as I think the name Forward Party is kind of stupid, I think it's still good. It's still fun. Like I think that it's I can't help but think of The Simpsons with Bill Clinton saying
Mhm.
forward, not backward, upward, not forward, and twirling towards freedom. Like I love that. Give me more of that. That's wonderful.
Okay, so our friend John O'Flynn from BC joined us. He's on comment. He said,
John, what up?
so let me read. John says, shout out from West Vancouver, BC. Happy to see one of the 91 candidates for Resal Emad Wardon live. Yeah, John, thank you so much for joining us. It is actually our weekly live show. Donovan and I agreed, I think back in August. We decided our first show was in August 25th as live. So we are still live. We are doing it weekly and we will appear tomorrow night as well at 9 p.m. Eastern time. And yeah, so Donovan is committed for the Sami Parvez show. He's
I'm
just
committed.
full of-
This is the best. I love the Sammy Parvez show, but I will be joining tomorrow at about it said about midnight Eastern, 10
Mhm.
10 Mountain because I have a jazz band practice that I although I could if I could join in and you could hear me play saxophone, I might do that. You can hear me very briefly.
Mhm. Yeah. And so John is saying, how will the Western-based candidates do Alberta candidates versus the BC candidates? Where do you stand here, Donovan?
Oh, I think well, we there's two people from Grand Prairie in it. So there's Alex Banks and me, and there's some power with that. Alex Banks is a strong name. I might get a few votes because people like my French accent. They think so. They think I sound cute. Um, but I probably I'd have to look and see which one has the more French sounding names because I think whichever one has Flynn is not French. It's very not that. Ekstrom's not French. Banks isn't French. Because Alex Banks did really well last election based in Toronto.
Mhm.
So I think it's a tough call. Alberta, I think, has more French speaking communities. So that helps. You know, we've got a lot of little places that speak French. So I think Alberta's gonna just sneak it. I think Alberta's just gonna sneak it on by very barely. It'll be very close. But I think Alberta candidates will win by 3 votes.
Wow. Okay, great analysis. Yeah, but let's see if there is more comment. Yeah, there is no comment. But let's come back to our topic. We were discussing about French party. As you said, you would love to have 100 French parties. But thing is this, how do you change people's psychology? Like they already made their minds. We have to vote liberals or conservative, and some people would go to uh, like NDP or Green, but mostly it means the two powerful folks.
Well, I mean, you never know until you try, Sammy. And the Green Party was fringe at a point, and now they have 2 seats. I think just having
Mhm.
the option available is really good and encouraging it and seeing what can happen. And all it takes,
Mhm.
reform. The Reform Party was a fringe party at
Mhm.
one point, and then Deb Gray pulled off a win. That's all it takes. Get some committed people. You win 1 seat. Anything can happen if you have
Mhm.
like enough of a committed politician and infrastructure. And I think that's more possible, right? Fringe parties have existed for forever, and occasionally they'll grow into something more. And I think that's what counts in my mind.
Okay, let's come back to our comments. So John is calling John a vote O'Flynn in C's BC. Okay, vote for O'Flynn. I endorse it, and also vote for everyone except the major parties. And Adam, I will come back to your thought, but let me good luck on Monday, Donovan. Shout out to the legend Sami. Have a great Sunday, all. Thank you so much, John, and you always can join us every Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. And if you want like to appear on air, I'm always available. We can have a chat, and if you would like to join us here on our live show, so please also let me know so I can send you a link so you can join me, and I would appreciate it. And thank you so much. You shared my that video everywhere. I highly appreciate it, and we need more people like you to support me. And also we have Adam and Donovan who are always behind me. And thank you so much, sir. So if you live in Montreal, LaSalle, Emad, Verdun riding, you don't want to miss your chance to see the longest ballot in Canadian electoral history with 91 candidates. Yes, thank you, John. Yeah, vote for John O'Flynn and vote for independent candidates. Vote, get out and vote, vote, vote. And hopefully see you again. And let's now come back to Adam. Adam says, will we ever get a behind scene episode of Sami Parvez show? Yes, like I was expecting to do it today to show you how was our how was my first interaction with Donovan on when we did our first show. Then first we spoke, then we started. So that is there. But I have those skills. I need to share it next Monday, next Sunday, because I thought might be Donovan will be at airport, so he won't have much time. I also needed to take his permission so I can show it So how our conversation was started, then how it ended.
I
And
think
we had
that's
like,
great.
I will show you.
I think that's great. Yeah, I think yeah. What we'll do that. Yeah, next week. I'm excited. I forget. It's just a blur, Sammy. But I think it's a fun little show the introduction of us chatting. I love that. I love that a lot.
Yeah, and thank you. Yeah, I wanted whenever my channel get monetized, so I will try to make those behind the scenes video just for those who subscribe my channel with a paid, or if they want to make a donation. So I just will leave them for them, or they can watch them. It won't be free.
Of
Yeah, but
course.
I will make this one, like some people are very interested to watching what happened behind the scenes and how it started and how it would go.
I love it,
Uh,
Sammy. I love it.
thank you so much, and show how much work goes into being independent journalist in Canada. Yeah, it is too hard, like there is no, you should not think about the income, like I'm not making a penny from what I'm doing, and I'm unemployed since January 2024, and I'm looking for a job, so I have nothing to do. So let's just spend my time and energy here. At the meantime, I'm trying to applying other jobs, but there is no chance at all at this time. So
It's
let's
got
see
it.
where it is. Donovan, yes. Now I need to ask you about your video. Like you have also have a YouTube channel. Yesterday I found it out, and you made some videos reading a book for hours. And you are walking from far distance. You will come here and stop reading. What is it all about that book?
Oh, it's a good book. It's the good book, Sammy. It's Garfield.
Yeah, Garfield.
I love reading Garfield, and I read the whole thing,
Mm-hmm,
and I read it fully, top to bottom. It is a fun hobby of mine to read Garfield books. So if you people want to check that out, it's a
mm-hmm.
nice little 2 hour, like an hour and a half long. I have three of them. I also have weird videos with AI. Like, I don't know. I like to just make things sometimes. It's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is amazing. You have also 23 subscriber. I just wanted to let you know you may need to make a short and urge your those 23 subscriber. Subscribe Sami Parvez show.
I will. Yes, Sammy, I'll make a I'll make a connection. I'll certainly get on that when
Mhm.
I get an opportunity to.
Yeah, I would appreciate it. Yeah, it is very interesting. Yesterday, last time when our show ended and you gave a comment, uh, so you say I don't know, like something you wrote. But then I found out, oh, you have also a channel. So I checked it out like from top and bottom. So I was wondering how you did it. For an hour, you are just standing on the same place and you keep reading the book and doing nothing.
I know
You have a
it's
great,
remarkable. It's a beautiful thing.
yep.
Garfield is in a room, and it's just me, you said, just describing these Garfield things, and I just read it. It's fun. It's a good way of passing the time, Sammy.
Mhm. But
But
what is all about like this book?
oh, so the Garfield is all about this guy. He's an artist named John
Mhm,
Arbuckle, and he has a pet cat named Garfield, and they're
mhm,
always up to tricks and antics.
mhm,
So Garfield likes to eat a lot. Garfield is very lazy. Garfield speaks
mhm,
to us, the human. That is,
mhm,
we hate Mondays. Though in one of his early ones, he does say he loves Mondays because he gets to sleep in, but that's not canon anymore. And then he has a friend named Lyman who moves in, and then Lyman disappears, but his dog Odie stays around, and that
mhm,
dog represents chaos. And that dog represents the antithesis of human beings, of
mhm.
what it means to be a human. And
Yep.
so combine all of these folks together, we end up with Garfield, Lyman, and Odie. It's a beautiful thing.
I lost you. Donovan. I don't know, like I lost Donovan.
You lost me? Did
There is a problem. There we go.
you find
Yeah, I
me?
lost you.
That's okay. Anyways, just a story. Just a story about
Now I
John,
can see
Garfield,
my
and Odie. But
Mhm.
Sammy, I might have to call it. I might have to call it here. Some got stuff to do.
Okay. Mhm. Okay, let's see. Okay, so Donovan, thank you so much for joining me on the Sami Parvez show.
You can
Until tomorrow,
till tomorrow.
I
You
will
can keep it
continue as long
going.
as Adam.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can keep it going and chat with Adam. But I'm gonna call it here. Sammy, you take care. God bless. Take care, good sir.
and God bless you too, sir. Thank you so much, and you take care and see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, Sammy.
And good luck for your by-election. Hopefully, you will make an impact in this one.
Oh, I've got a feeling. Oh
Mhm.
yeah. Goodbye.
Hi, sir. Okay, thank you. Okay, so Donovan left and we are still live. And let's see, Adam, are you still here? Yeah, I'm unable to see anything. Yeah, Adam is still here. So I'm going to add out also Sami, but looking forward tomorrow. Okay, thank you so much, Adam, and you take care. Okay. Okay, thank you so much everyone for watching our today's video. I would appreciate if you haven't subscribed our channel, please subscribe it and you can join us tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern time and 7 p.m. Mountains time, and you can join us for by-election, federal by-election results. So we will be live and it will be lots of fun. And thank you so much and God bless you and please take